Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today is a match against Joey Fontaine, a fellow YouTuber. Go check him out. There's going to be a link in the description below, but a really awesome guy, and he's been doing this a lot longer than me, and I think it shows I think he has more knowledge of the game, and just a really good resource for that kind of stuff. So I'm using the same kind of stall team I did last time. I didn't know this is super stally until people told me and how it wasn't very fun, so I'm not going to use it. I'm going to switch teams next time, but I'm going to use it one more time. I did swap the Tapu Bulu for the Landorus Therian, thinking it probably covers a little bit more. I know it's a really common Pokemon to see around, but I just thought it was kind of needed. So without further ado, let's get into the match. Alright, Joey sends out a Ribombee to start, and I send out my Mega Sableye. True fact, I've never ever played against Ribombee, so I don't really know what it's capable of or what it does, or even what kind of ability it does, but I do know it's Fairy Flying. I'm not that basic, and I'm like, okay, he's probably going to try and Moonblast me, so I go for the Protect just to kind of scout out what he's going to do. And he goes for the Moonblast, so nothing happens. And so I decide to just switch now and go into my Heatran, because I think I could take a Moonblast pretty easily. And he does use Moonblast, and it goes pretty good. It doesn't do too much damage, and does well. So I'm thinking he's going to switch out. I'm going to use Stealth Rock, but he's a Sticky Web. I really wish I would have swapped back into my Mega Sableye. Having Sticky Web on their side of the field would have been, a really nice thing to have, but still, both set up some kind of hazards, and he goes into his Mr. Clean as I go for my Flash Cannon here. And it doesn't really do too much, because it's, Rotom resists it, but it does some chunk. It's like the same Moonblast chunk that I just got. So, and I see he has leftovers. I'm going to switch out and go right back into my Sableye, expecting him to maybe, so if he goes for Will-O-Wisp, then that's the 300 IQ play. But no, he goes into Volt Switch, so I probably should have gone to Landorus, knowing that he's probably going to do that switch just so I could prevent that. But he goes into his Weedle's Hair. I don't know why it's called Weedle's Hair. There's probably some joke I'm not knowing about, but he uses another Volt Switch here and goes back into his Ribombee. Well, I go for the Will-O-Wisp, thinking he's going to stay into his Magearna and probably try to shift gear or something. So, but Will-O-Wisp hits, and Ribombee is burned. And so I don't think I want to stay in here for Sableye, and I switch in. But he switches into his Rotom, and then I switch right into my Magearna. Yeah, I switch into my Magearna, and I think this is a bad matchup. So especially with the Sticky Web. So I think I'm going to switch again into probably Landorus. I think that would make the most sense here. So yes, I do switch into Landorus. Well, he used an Intimidate, not that it really does anything. Well, he uses Volt Switch, so yes, it does. I wasn't predicting that, so that's why I went to Landorus this time. And then I used Defog to get rid of the Sticky Web and the Stealth Rocks. I'm not sure if that was the right move, because Stealth Rocks could have done a lot to a lot of the stuff, but I think I need the speed. And he uses Hydro Pump, and he hits, so that's a little unfortunate, but what are you going to do about that one? So I'm going to send out next my Sableye again. And I think I'm just going to use Knockoff just so I can get rid of his leftovers. And he goes for another Hydro Pump, which does a lot. But I actually go for Recover. I'm a smart guy. So I go for Recover just pretty much, and knowing that I can, out recover his Hydro Pump. I'm going to go for another one while he uses Volt Switch. So I'm going to be able to heal up to just about full, while he'll probably set out, his Weedle's Hair. I'm not sure. I mean, he is Fairy type, so he can't do some special, some super effective damage on me. So I'm not sure if I want to stay in here. But yeah, he uses Flash Cannon, which doesn't do too much. I'm guessing he's trying to predict a switch, but I just go for Will-O-Wisp. He does avoid it, though, so that's kind of unfortunate. So I'm just going to switch out and go into my Heatran again. Expecting either another. Okay, he goes for Volt Switch. So he predicts. I'm guessing he predicts my switch, and he sends out his own Landorus, which I don't think I want to stay into this Heatran. So I'm trying to think of what I kind of want to switch into, and so I switch my Heatran out for my Toxapex. I know he can use a super effective Earthquake, but I do predict the U-turn here, and Toxapex is just a big wall, so he sends out the Tapu Lele, which is scary because he can use like a super effective Psychic on me. So I'm not sure what I really want to do here. I want to kind of try to set up Toxic Spikes just so I can do some kind of damage. So I do say he uses Thunderbolt, which does a lot. I use Toxic Spikes. And luckily Toxapex has Regenerator, so when I swap out, he will gain 1/3 back. So I am going to switch out and go... I think I'll go back into my Landorus. No, he's dead. I'm going to my Magearna. Well, he uses Thunderbolt here. So it doesn't do too much, but it does do over half. So I have to switch again into my Clefable, thinking that I can probably take a Thunderbolt here. So I don't know. I haven't seen if it's Choice Specs or not. I'm guessing it is because it's doing quite a bit, but it might just be a regular set. So he switches into his Landorus here. Well, I'd probably go for my Wish right here. Yeah, I'd go for my Wish. So right now I don't know if I want to switch into something else and be able to protect it with Wish and get some health back, or if I want to use Moonblast. But I do just decide to stay in, thinking that I can probably take whatever this Landorus wants to give me, which I do take pretty well, and I use a Moonblast to just hit it. Luckily Landorus doesn't have too much defense, and so it looks like it'd be a 3-hit KO. And yeah, if I go Wish, I think I can take 2 Earthquakes and still survive. So he goes for his Z move. Which one? Is it All Out Pummeling or the... I believe it is All Out Pummeling. Nope, Supersonic Strike. I don't know what I'm talking about. So he goes and does that. I think I'm pretty confident I'm going to live this because I'm just really defensively set. So I do survive, pretty much use Wish, and then I, with Protect, I'm safe to live next turn. So pretty much do that. He's probably going to switch out, I'm thinking, but no, he does stay, not knowing that I have Protect on this thing. And he uses Stealth Rock. So Stealth Rock's really annoying. I think that was a good play there, actually. So after that, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to use Moonblast again or Wish. That's, I mean, you've seen what this Clefable does from last game. So I'm going to stay in still. He's going to use U-turn, does nothing on me. And who will he send out? He's probably going to send out his his Magearna. So that comes out again. I'm going to use Moonblast, which is going to do like nothing to it. And I'm really, and that was a critical hit. So, and special attack fell. Man, I got the whole thing, and nothing really happened. So, did you guys know that like when you get a critical hit, it feels like the secondary effect or like some secondary effect happens more often. I'm not sure if that's like a rule or just something I notice more often. But I'm using Wish here, predicting something. I really don't know what to do. That Magearna can really set up and sweep me if I let it. So I did do another Wish. I'm going to switch into probably my Sableye to try to heal it up again, and Wish being able to help that. He goes for a Hydro Pump. I think I'm going to live this, which I do barely, and then with Wish I'm able to come back pretty healthy. And I think I'm probably going to go for a knockoff, which has probably been needed for, I probably needed to use a knockoff like turns ago with this Sableye. So he goes back into his Ribombee. And I do use a knockoff, and I get rid of its Focus Sash, so awesome. And so here's where I'm really like super outplayed. So I use Protect here, thinking he will go for... Moonblast, and so he uses the Fog, and so to me I'm like, aha, he wants to use the Fog a second time. But no, he just uses Moonblast on the second time when I go for Recover. I would have been okay with the Defog, because then the Stealth Rocks would be gone. Right now, I think my Toxic Spikes are still down, they just haven't hit anything. So Heat Rain comes out, he uses the Fog again, so it gets rid of my Spikes. And there they go. So they did nothing. I used Stealth Rock again, predicting this. So he can send out Sticky Web again, I guess. But it's really weird because right now I can kind of predict like the burn stalling. If he wants to like keep defogging my Stealth Rocks away, he can. But I'm just gonna use Flash Cannon and go for there. So maybe it would have been better to get rid of Sticky Web instead and just make sure that neither of us have entry hazards. But That's not the route I decided to go. So he sends out Landorus again. He uses Intimidate. I have to pretty much... What? I'm not sure why I'm faster. Like, this is... I don't... I don't know if the Z power makes me faster. This is like, tell me how stupid I am. Either like if corkscrew crash makes me faster, or if he was going to use roar. I don't know why I was faster. It didn't make sense to me. So I don't. This is just me saying literally I don't know what happened. So if unless you like use some negative priority move, I just don't know. So I use Flash Can again, thinking he might switch or something. And he uses Hydro Pump. I just pretty much stay in because there's nothing I really felt like I was, wanted to switch into this thing. So Heat Rain goes down, and Rotom is still around with his leftovers. So I decide to just go into my Gearna and go for, I believe I go for just the Shift Gear here. So he uses Hydro Pump and just kills me, so it doesn't matter what I went for. He didn't miss a single Hydro Pump, which isn't bad. But like isn't like super unlucky, but that's kind of what I was looking for. So I send out Clefable, and I do a little bit of Clefable things of so he goes for Volt Switch, and I think I go for Wish, hoping that I don't die to that. So I don't, so that's good. And he sends out his Tapu Lele, which sets up his Psychic Terrain again. So I actually go for Moonblast. What a mad lad I was. So yeah, I go for Moonblast. Does like half, and also another special attack fail, which is really lucky, honestly, to get another one of those. So I use Protect just to get an extra turn of leftover recovery. While he probably goes for Psyshock. So I think Psyshock would be fine. Like, I mean, it is getting boosted by Psych, the train, but I also am physically defensive, so. I probably may have been able to take it kind of well, especially since the special attack stat dropped. So I go for Wish. Well, he sends out his Metachan, which is probably going to be a Megachan. So I'm going to just Protect here so I can be at full health while he goes for his Mega Evolsion here. So there that is, and I think he goes for Zen Headbutt, which is pretty scary, to be honest, to go against. Yeah, there he goes. And so here's spoilers. So he uses Zen Headbutt here, and then he gets the crit, which did matter. I did do the damage calc afterwards, and I would have survived with like 10 to 20% left. But I also did the calc in that I had a little bit less than a 50% chance to one-hit KO with my Moonblast. So there's my unprofessional mouse there. So I just concede there. So because there's no way that Toxapex would have lived another Zen Headbutt from that. So there's the team. I feel like he just had a lot of good plays, and it really shows how different that our skill sets are, and but I also feel like stall teams are really hit or miss a lot of the times. You can get really close, and it doesn't seem really close. Like it's either like a steamroll or you get steamrolled. I feel like a lot of times. So, but once you set up like a good stall, like your opponent feels like they can't do anything. So, but that's the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go to Joey's channel and subscribe to him. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. And there's my. What am I doing with the mouse? This is pre-recorded, but why am I just shuffling around? What am I doing there? I don't know. All right, bye.